Hi friends, so today I thought I would talk about 5 ways you can extend the life of your produce, especially since we are currently in a pandemic and grocery shopping is something that you want to avoid doing for as long as possible. So you want to keep your fruits, your veggies alive and fresh for as long as possible as well. So I have 5 tips for you, plus at the end I'll be sharing how you can wash your produce to try to get rid of it of as much dirt as possible, and even like the wax on apples, etc. So greens, whether it's kale, spring mix, spinach, whatever, they tend to get pretty slimy pretty quickly. So one of my favorite tricks is to just take a piece of paper towel, and whether it's 1 or 2 sheets, you can do that, you can decide for yourself. I love just taking them and placing them inside the container so that it absorbs all the moisture in the container instead of the leaves absorbing all of the moisture. And that just helps them last a little bit longer than usual. And I'm just going to take another one and place it with my kale. And then what I also like to do is place paper towels with my peppers and also my berries. So I already placed a paper towel underneath the fruit and veggies, and this just helps to absorb the moisture, instead of it swimming in that moisture and just getting moldy and wet and gross. With herbs, I like to take a circular vase or any kind of vase really that's a little bit on a thinner side. Add water into the vase and then just put the herbs, whether this one is parsley, whether it's cilantro or dill, etc. Just put it in a vase like so and just put it in your fridge to store it and preserve the freshness. What you can also do is place a little paper bag, a plastic bag on top of it. And this way it is just covered in your fridge and it'll last you a little longer. For preserving carrots and making them last a little longer and keep them crunchy, I dice them up in about this size piece and I'll put them all into a jar. Once you have them in your jar, I like to fill it up with water. And then all I do is cover it with the cap and put it in the fridge. For any of your citrus, it is actually best to store them in your fridge from the get-go as soon as it gets to your house, rather than storing it in a bowl on your countertop. So be sure to keep these in your fridge so that they don't dry out and stay juicy longer. Avocados are one of the most finicky produce items there is, because you'll look at it once and it's hard as a rock, and then 5 minutes later it is so soft and so spoiled and you just missed your chance to enjoy a good avocado. So what I suggest for these, and what I personally always do, is I'll leave it out on my countertop when it's still hard, and then once I see that it's getting a little softer, I put it in my fridge and keep it there until I'm ready to eat it. That way I get a few extra days, maybe 2 to 3 extra days out of the avocado instead of having to eat it immediately as soon as it gets really soft. Also, I thought I would share a fun fact about keeping flowers fresh. Now, carnations are flowers that last a while in general, so I love getting them, and I bought them about 3 weeks ago actually now, and these are the last few that are still alive. But overnight, I actually put them in the fridge. I display them during the day, but overnight I'll put them in the fridge, and that just keeps them, flowers in general, no matter what flowers. Roses usually die very quickly. I had roses that lasted me about a week and a half to 2 weeks. A few of them died quicker than others. But keeping them in the fridge just preserves the freshness. So here is how I typically wash my veggies and my fruits in order to take all the dirt off, any of the chemicals that might be on it, even though it's organic, and even like the wax off of apples comes off this way, and it's just a super efficient, easy way to scrub it as much as you can of anything that's on the skin of the fruit or the veggie. So what I do is take white distilled vinegar, and I'm like running really dangerously low on this, but I would say I'm just gonna pour the rest of this bottle, but it's about a 1/4 cup to maybe 1/3 of a cup. I pour it in my bowl. And then what I'm gonna do is fill the bowl with water. Cold water, by the way. And then I just put my fruits and veggies inside to soak for maybe about 5 minutes. If it's kale, I'll usually let it soak for a little bit more. And then rinse it off under the clean water from your faucet. Dry off the veggie or the fruit, and you're good to put it on the fridge, on your countertop, wherever you want to store it. I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any additional tips for extending the life of other produce, be sure to leave them in the comments below so that others who are watching the video can go and read them and gain that information as well. Hope you guys are doing well during the pandemic, as well as you can at least. And be sure to subscribe to my channel for any additional lifestyle content.